Alright, today we're going to be working on this MacBook Pro, which has no power. When I plug in the ammeter, we get 5 volts. It doesn't switch over to 15 and then 20 volts. And we only have about 5 milliamps draw. And the same thing happens on pretty much every port. So I've disconnected the battery. Right away, just based off the symptom, the first thing I wanted to do is test these two fuses here, which are the main power rails. And we're doing a diode measurement to ground. And there's a direct short to ground there. It's a short on the main power rail. It tends to be easier to diagnose unless the short went somewhere where it really shouldn't go, like the CPU. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to inject current into the area where the short is so we can figure out where that short is coming from. Before I do that, I'm going to remove these two fuses just so I can see which side the short is coming from, if it's before or after the fuses. So now I'm going to measure for the short again and see which side it comes from. This side is okay, and the other side is where the short is detected, which comes after the fuse. Now I'll attach this small wire. And now using the power supply will inject current, but I'm going to be careful to keep the voltage as low as possible because I'm a little bit afraid that the short that we're reading might actually mean that there's a MOSFET that shorted and is now connecting the main power rail directly to the CPU. So if we inject too much voltage on accident, we can fry the CPU if it isn't already fried. So right now at this voltage, we're only getting about 30 milliamps draw on the power supply. And using the thermal camera, I'm trying to find any hot spots on the board. So right now I went up to 0.57 volts and that's giving us about 54 milliamps, which is pretty low, but this camera should be able to pick it up. However, I'm not seeing anything yet. I noticed this side looks kind of hot, but it may have been just because I was holding it there. So whenever I don't see a hotspot right away in one of these kinds of situations, I start to get worried because it might be that the hotspot is actually the CPU, but the heatsink is dissipating away the heat, and that's why we're not seeing it right away. I'm gonna remove the heatsink just to see what happens. I'm still not seeing anything with the heatsink removed. I'm going to measure these coils here to see if this voltage that we're injecting, 0.57 volts, is showing up on any of these. And hopefully it's not, because if it is, it means there's a short going towards the CPU. I'm also checking the GPU coils and just anything where I think that voltage might be popping up. Another thing that fails really often on these is the IC which feeds power into the NAND chip. If I'm not mistaken, this circuit here should be that. It looks like we're not getting anything here. That would be another catastrophic failure as well, because once that happens, then the NAND chips are fried and the board is pretty much trash, unless you want to go through the trouble of replacing it with, which in our case it's not worth. So I don't see the voltage that I'm injecting showing up in any critical spots. It means that the CPU is not being connected to the main power rail. As far as I can tell, that voltage isn't going into the NAND chips either. So I'm going to go ahead and take a bit of a risk and pump up the voltage a little just to try and get some kind of heat signature. Oh, there we go. I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't see this, but there's a blown up capacitor right here on the board. I probably need some glasses because I should have been able to see this. Capacitor right here is blown up and will need to be replaced. So we're going to add some flux. The thing about shorts on the main power rail is that they can either be a really easy fix or it can be a catastrophic failure, because one of two things: either there's a capacitor or something shorted on the main power rail, or one of the MOSFETs that powers the CPU connected the power rail and the CPU together. In this case, we're lucky that it's one of the easy cases. Now that the capacitor is removed, I'm just going to double check to see if the short has cleared. And sure enough, now we're getting a normal reading on the main power rail. Alright, so this is our replacement capacitor. Alright, so there's our capacitor installed. Now we'll go back over here and reinstall the fuses. Alright, so there's our fuses reinstalled. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean up this old thermal paste so we can reinstall the heat sinks. Before we go any further putting all the screws in, we're going to do a quick test. We do have switching now. It's drawing current. We have Apple logo. I'll turn it back off and we'll finish the reassembly. So now we're just going to quickly run a hardware test just to make sure everything's okay. Hardware test has passed. Alright, so this laptop is all ready to go. It was just a shorted capacitor. Thankfully it was an easy fix today.